Hello, Bumblebee. Thank you so much for being here today in this episode on my podcast, my YouTube channel, Cafecito with Vivi. I am your host, Vivi. And you might be thinking, wow, she just abandoned us. She's not coming back. Or you might be thinking, oh, well, it's a lost cause, her project. No, it is not. I still have deep faith in it, and I really believe into transmuting information that is, according to my values now that I have changed that perspective that I used to have looking at finances it was more I used to looking at them in more strategic, and now I kind of like work through emotions and self identity, right? Around finances, to build a better life, a life that is less stressful and or not stress, but like empowering on how to handle stress. So yeah, I still definitely believe in that. So today I actually want to talk about something that also applies a lot into my new perspective of holistic approach in finances, and I want to talk about the hiding cost of our trap emotions and how it is impacting our personal finances, right? We might think that managing our personal finances are just practical strategics, and we have to budget, we have to do savings, investings, and debt management. Although there are good things, I'm not gonna say that you don't need to do all that. Yeah, of course, but let's also not overlook the aspect of our financial health when is in according to our emotional well-being as well. So um let's dive into that episode, and if you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel or follow my podcast if you're listening this to in the podcast, so you can continue to receive this information. And let me just adjust myself a little bit in here. I'm so sorry. I thought I had it adjust. I guess I didn't. So anyway, so let's continue to this. So what are the trap emotions? So trap emotions are unsolved feelings from past experiences, and these can significantly influence our financial decisions and just overall our relationship with money. So I'm big about talking about our relationship with money, because that is the bottom line of the foundation for our finances. So that's what I'm gonna explore in today. So how can these trap emotions can affect our personal finances? And I'm just gonna also offer some tips. Then how can we address these hidden emotional barriers? So understanding these trap emotions is just unprocessed feelings from the past events that have become lodged in our bodies, in our minds, and especially in our minds, right? The mind takes a huge impact on in how we behave around everything in life, not just financial, but spiritually in other relationships as well. So these emotions can stem from various experiences. It can be trauma, it can be stress, or even everyday interactions. So we don't fully really process or release these emotions, and they create these energy blockages. And I always talk about money's energy. So these trap emotions really it creates that blockage energetically, and it leads sometimes to even physical, emotional, and mental imbalances. So it really just these imbalances really affect all our well-being. So these imbalances also manifest in our financial behaviors, and how we shop and how we invest and how we hoard money, or how we overspend, or how we behave regular in our with our money. And these attitudes are really coming subconsciously. Most of the time it's not something that we do consciously, it's just really subconsciously, because uh those trap emotions gets in our minds. So So let's talk about the connection between those emotions and money. So the fear, the emotions such as like fear and anxiety. So fear and anxiety can actually cause you to make impulsive spending decisions or hoard money, right? Like I mentioned, because you have fear of future scarcity. So if you're overspending, then you might have a fear of FOMO, like fear of missing out something, missing out that is not gonna be enough. And so you continue to spend, or you hoard money, you continue to save, you put it on uh, and I guess going to the extremes is still putting money under the the mattress, right? Because you have fear of future scarcity that it's not gonna be enough. So I'm not gonna have for the future. I'm not gonna have for tomorrow. I'm not gonna have for this, right? So those behaviors actually lead to financial instability, and you miss opportunities also to grow, not just to grow more money or like to grow personal exchanges of energy or opportunities to make you have abundance, right? So the other emotion is the emotion of guilt and shame, and this one actually impacts more in our financial self-worth. So let's just say, for example, that we have past financial mistakes that can diminish our self-worth and confidence, and this is can result in self-sabotaging behaviors and avoiding even financial responsibilities, like not opening your bank account, not opening the bills that you receive in the mail, or even making less than you are supposed to be because you don't feel that you are worthy enough to earn more money. And this actually happened to me that it was like a crucial moment for me that I overcome it, and I'm still working on it, of course. But I had a huge moment of self-worth and confidence, especially because, I'm a finance major and I fell for a scam thinking that I was gonna make more money into real estate with these people that came to give a master class, and I signed up for the master class. The master class was free, but then and there, obviously, they sell us like a higher ticket for something else. It was a 3 days learning experience, and I was like, oh, perfect! I'm gonna learn how to flip homes. This is something that I've been wanting to do. So I went. I paid for that higher ticket, and I went and ended up being a scam because all the information that they give us, of course, there are some information is so that is good to learn, but the information that they told us is the higher ticket will give us like a list of houses or banks that they've been taking homes away, and they're trying to sell houses for lower price. And when I called the banks, none of them were like they were fake numbers. They were completely fake numbers. So, um, and then from there, I purchased a property. I didn't make money, and I ended up losing $50,000, which it was all the only money that I had in my savings account. I had nothing else, and I had no income. Like I had my pension at that time, it was like 1,800 a month. That was my only income. So from there, it just spiraled down. I couldn't pay my credit cards. I couldn't pay my car, so my car got towed. All those things. So it really um make my self-confidence and my self-worth and my confidence managing money completely bad. So I had to work through releasing the guilt and releasing the shame of what happened, and take responsibility that, you know what, I didn't do the research for these people. I just went for it. And I also went for it from a state of mind of ego because I knew I had money for me to invest. So, I went with that intention, with that ego, instead of letting my intuition guide me if that was a good idea for me or not. But, anyways, let's digress. So the next trap emotions is the anger and resentment, and this actually is like unresolved anger or resentment that can strengthen relationship with partners, families, or business associates, leading to conflict over money and financial decisions. Um, This is very common when you are, you are in the process of divorce, or you have children, you never got married, and you have children, and someone has to pay child support, right? So it creates anger and creates resentment against that person, and you start like saying, well, my ex, or he or she is keeping all the money from me because I have to pay child support, higher child support, right? So all those anger and resentment is just continue to impact your conversations and the way you handle your finances as well. Another trap emotions is the sadness and depression, and this one can drain our motivation and productivity. It just make it more difficult to pursue financial goals or manage daily financial tasks, right? We feel sad, we feel depressed, so we don't feel like looking at our bank account, we don't feel like handle our checking account, we don't feel like tracking our expenses, we don't feel like tracking coming up with a plan to pay off our credit cards. We don't feel nothing like that because we just feel sad and depressed. So of course, I always going to suggest that you see professional help to any of these emotions, right? To see uh, a professional, so you can work through these emotions, so you can actually get into that financial stability that you totally and completely deserve. And why not, once you achieve that financial stability, then go ahead and go for the next level, which is financial freedom. So but yeah, I mean, in order to be able to move on for a new life, you have to leave the past in the past, right? So, so what are the things that we can do to improve our financial health, right? When we addressing our these emotions. So, the first one is just really self-awareness and reflection, and just take time to reflect on what are your emotional relationship with money, and start writing down what is your story. How does the story makes you feel? Like, what is the story that you have currently? What is the story that you had growing up? What is the story that whatever story that you can come up with, each one of them, start like writing down, like just grab a journal and start uh reflect on that and write it down. Okay, so you write down all the things that happened. Well, my parents were fighting all about money all the time, and we never had enough, and this and that. Okay, so how that story make you feel? Well, it make me feel like I was not secure, um that I was not being protected as a child, right? Especially. So those things. So I start identifying, and then identify how this currently is affecting you currently to what you are experiencing. So once you identify these recurring patterns or triggers, it might be an indication of trap emotions. So that's why it's important to see it. And that's why I love journaling, really, because and every time I see a client, I always provide journal prompts. All my courses have journal prompts for that, and for that reason as well. And that is something that is a tip that I got from well, first it was my manifestor coach, Catherine Senkina, but she learned it from Tony Robbins, which he says that the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life, right? And that's why it's important to ask those questions to yourself, so you can have this awareness and reflection. So another one is the mind body practices. So you can engage in these practices that promote emotional healing. You can do yoga, you can do meditation, you can do mindfulness. I know that I'm not an expert, or I'm not Asian, but I know that Tai Chi is something that helps me so much. Um, I I have practiced yoga as well. Yoga more in the stretching part, but Tai Chi, I really get into it, and especially because I'm outside, so I'm like, I feel like abundant being around, like especially in my backyard. I have a bunch of trees all over, and then I think about the clouds, and I think about the sun, the energy that the sun provides. I think about all these things when I practice Tai Chi, so it really helps me to release some store emotional energy And then I start feeling balance and this really inside of me. And there's another reason why I provide meditation on my with in all my courses and with uh, my one-on-one clients. I provide them with meditation practices as well to help them, uh, with these mind-body practices. So another one is the breath work. Oh my gosh, I love breath work, and that is a project that I have. Um, Hopefully it comes sooner than later. But it is a project that I have to become a breath work facilitator, so I can bring that also to my clients, so I can bring that to them and help them heal that part as well, the emotional well-being. Another one is just seeking therapeutic support. So when you seek a professional, like, oh, you always gonna recommend, right? You can see a therapist or you can see a coach. Training techniques like the eye movement, the desensitization and reprocessing, EFT. I am. I have training in EFT, and I have teach it, right. I actually have scripts, and I have some videos on my free community for those emotional techniques and somatic experience as well. So these methods can assist you in processing and release those trapped emotions. So joining the uh, a support group or financial counseling services can also provide value to emotional and practical support. I have that. I have the community. I create that community for this specifically, that I don't just bring strategic tips, but I really dive more into this, because once you have this connected, it doesn't matter if you have the crappiest budget you can ever have, and I call it lifestyle plan. But you can have the crappiest lifestyle plan ever, and most people will be like, well, that is not really like you're not being specific on your expenses. You're not like tracking this, you're not tracking the. It's okay, because you are in an emotional balance and you have all this mindset that the foundation. So anything else is just going to work for you, because that is what your intuition is guiding you, and that is what your emotional well-being is in balance, right? So, of course, it's still considered to have further education in finances and planning. You can always educate yourself about personal finances to build that confidence and reduce fear and anxiety. Knowledge can really empower you to make informed financial decisions. So, just create a realistic financial plan that aligns with your goals and values, and break down larger goals into smaller, that are manageable steps, and reduce the overwhelm and build momentum as well. That's why I also bring the manifestation part into this, right? Because I help you to align yourself to that education that you need. So when you're in alignment with manifestation, the opportunities just come to you, and then you start reading more books about finances, and then you start reading more books um, about or reading more podcasts about finances or YouTube. And like I told you before, you don't have to believe everything that everybody says, even if they call themselves the expert. But you can take that whatever they're sharing into consideration for you to see, you know what, this aligns with me. So when you are in that self-concept in alignment, anything can happen. Like any opportunity that presents, you're gonna see it as an opportunity to see if that is in alignment for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. There's so many, you have that power. That power is in you. You have free will to choose which one is the one that is gonna work for you, or it works for you into a higher purpose. But anyways, also practice positive affirmation and visualization. So positive affirmations, I mentioned before, really shift your mindset and reinforce a healthy relationship with money. For example, affirmations like, I am worthy of financial abundance, or I am I manage my finances with confidence and clarity. It really can help you reframe negative beliefs. If they come in any negative beliefs, to just come back to that and you start reframing negative beliefs. And then at some point you're like, oh, yes, this is me. I didn't just create a new belief, but I also create a new core belief that I'm just operating from that core belief that is more positive and more empowering. So the visualization also, these are just practices that I bring to my courses and my one-on-one clients. But visualize your financial goals and the positive emotions that are associated with that visualization, and how what are the emotions that you feel when you achieve that financial goal that you have. Maybe your financial goal is like to pay off your car, so just don't think about the numbers, especially if the numbers are creating you fear and anxiety. Then think about how do you feel driving a paid off car. So start thinking and create that powerful mental image that is going to motivate you and it's going to inspire you. Okay, so when you drive a paid off car, how does it feel? What would you be doing as well? Like, what are you doing? Just start imagining that, like, visualize it, right? What would you be doing? Keeping your car clean, organized? I don't know, things, whatever. It's always in maintenance, or why not? But anyways, these are just tips that are gonna help you get get awareness on those trap emotions that you have. But addressing these trap emotions and the impact in your personal finances, it really can create a healthier and more balanced approach on how you manage your money. That emotional healing is a vital component for any financial well-being, for any type of relationship, right? You can apply it also for whatever other parts in your life. But since I'm a finance coach, so I always bring the financial well-being. So and then you start nurturing your emotional health, and then you open up for new possibilities for financial success and fulfillment. And just remember, this is a journey to financial wellness. It's not just about numbers, it's not just about strategic what is the next strategy that I can use to make more money. It's also about understanding and healing that relationship that we have with money. So, as we are releasing the trap emotions and we are embracing emotional wellness, we actually paving the way for more prosperous and abundant life. And it really works that way. It feels like that. It really start making like that. I start noticing when I see my investments growing, because that is like right now is my main goal, my main priority, right? To grow my investments. And as I'm getting older and I think about retirement. But yeah, I mean, I'm working through all those type of things about mindset, manifestation, and emotional well-being. But anyways, so what do you think about this episode? I hope you have liked it, because I I love to talk about this. I really love this type of things that I speak. Holistic, and some people will be like, "That's too ooh." But I have faith. I have faith that once you change inside of you, and you heal, like anything can happen. That's the way I truly feel it. But anyways, I hope you have liked it just the way I did, because I love it. And like I said, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Leave me a review on the Apple Podcast and send me your messages. Follow me on Instagram at Mindful Tasks Academy, or send me an email, hello at mindfultasksacademy.com. And I would love to hear from you and what is going on in your life. So thank you so much for watching today's episode, and remember, it's a baby thing you wouldn't understand. Bye.